Hello, everyone.
Good day.
I'm Robin.
I'm Katie.
And this is the ReBoot Review,
It's Alphanumeric.
So I realized that we don't really describe the show for just anyone who's tuning in. That's something that occurred to me. Because, I've just been kind of figuring people sort of tune in from the first episode, but there might be people who jump in, now because they saw this video in the recommended videos. So if you don't know what this is, you might as well give people an update.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes. We can't expect you all to be going right to the very beginning.
Yeah, and watching through 17 prior episodes of the ReBoot Review. So
this is your little taste test.
Yeah.
You're going to dip your toe in.
We are a couple of lifelong ReBoot fans, well, since we were 12 and first saw the show anyway when it premiered. And we basically just watch ReBoot and talk about ReBoot while we watch ReBoot.
Because that's cool.
Yeah, apparently so. Or at least we decided it would be fun to do. We're really just here for fun. And today,
for ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
And you're just along for the ride.
Yeah. But we hope that other fans kind of get something out of this as well. And you should definitely get something out of this episode because today we are watching Painted Windows.
Woo-hoo.
Aren't you excited? Because as I've mentioned before, I went back and rewatched the series fairly recently. Katie hasn't rewatched it in years, so we kind of have two different perspectives on it. But I will say that rewatching it 2 years ago or whenever it was that I did it, I realized that Painted Windows overall is in my overall top 5, if not top 3 episodes
of
just
all time.
Yeah, just as far as the not necessarily. Well, maybe not my personal top 5, top 3, although it could very well be there. I haven't actually made a list of all episodes from favorite to least favorite.
You haven't?
I would be curious to see your list sometime, Katie.
Yeah, I have it right here.
That's what we're going to do during the break between recordings. We're just going to take 10 minutes and scribble the total.
That's right.
Every episode and rank them. So I don't know if it's my personal favorite as far as resonating with me, but just as far as by objective measures of what makes a good episode of this show, it's just excellent. It's a great episode, I think.
I'm pretty excited to watch it again because this is one of the ones that I really have not watched since a while ago. But so I remember the concepts in it, and I remember, of course, hexadecimal is wonderful.
Yes.
But again, this is one I'm going in and I don't really remember the real arc of the story. So I'm super excited because I just know it's fun.
Yeah.
And she's ridiculous.
Well, I hope I haven't overhyped it, but given we tend to like the same things, I think you'll agree that just the technical execution of this episode is just really strong. From an artistic standpoint, from a plotting standpoint, it's a really, really well-made episode, I think.
Yeah, I think whenever you have hexadecimal involved, I honestly believe that she writes herself.
Yes.
I don't think
absolutely.
I think it just comes so easily until season 4. And then something happens and ruins everything.
That is a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, because they changed who she was, I guess.
Yeah.
But you don't know that yet, right?
No.
Of course you do.
Oh, yeah. Anything else for people who might not have been watching from the beginning is this is not a spoiler-free zone. We assume everyone has seen the show, and we are just going to be throwing out them season 4 spoilers all over the place.
Exactly.
As we do. So never minding that, though, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
That's right.
For now, let's start watching Painted Windows. Starting now.
I come from the net.
But yeah, it's just
peoples
narratively
to this place.
A really good episode. So many and from a character perspective, like you say, hexadecimal is such a character who just comes so naturally in everything she does, and everything just feels so naturally in character for her.
Yeah.
The way they use her, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny to think. I'm trying to think. All I remember are the images from this episode. But actually thinking about the resolution.
Well, I think the resolution will come back to you though once you see it, because the thing is, the resolution of this episode is super important. It's actually really important to the show overall. But is it coming back to you?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so everything,
Okay.
and the way this episode leads into everything that's going to come next in a very stealth way that you're not expecting.
Right.
Even, it's really cool. And again, we've got John O'Howard here at the helm along with Susan Turner.
Thanks, Susan. You too. You're a star.
We've noticed that Jono's been on board a couple of very stellar episodes, so this is certainly among one of his stronger ones, in my opinion. If you disagree, if you don't feel that Painted Windows is in the top 5 or top 3 episodes, feel free to sound off in them comments, but I'm pretty sure most people would agree with me on this one.
What's the web?
Would you get him? What's the
What's the web?
Right, and of course we have to introduce what the
Set
web
it
is,
up.
because this is when they're setting up this story arc. Hexadecimal out of nowhere.
Come on.
You're just so motivational.
Is that the same gym outfit that she wears in Enzo the Smart? Because definitely one of the binoms from Enzo the Smart is there.
That is.
Oh, 8 puns.
Oh, now I really want to know if that was the thing she was wearing.
I'm trying to remember if she was wearing purple or pink in Enzo the Smart.
Great.
I'm sure it's not hard for us to go back and look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the biker biome, who, as we established last episode, is Kathleen Barr. You were right on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
What is it, Bob?
I don't know.
Also, great Foley on that, like that.
That sound
awkward
is
sound,
fantastic. Yeah.
And how it turns everything yellow, even though it's just it puts a yellow cast on everything. Like, again, I think what gets me about this episode is like its pure artistic merits, like the directing, design, art side of this episode was having a really good time when they made this.
From an alias in her lair. She's also destroyed the entire archive security
That's a great cut. I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about the guards?
Or little things like his little visor flip and him fixing it up again. Like it's just
Yeah.
these little tiny things that just
And like this, like
If you will, an artist of great talent, unappreciated by those around her, unnoticed by the critics.
and something about Hexadecimal, in addition to like her being clearly very easy to write,
Kind of masterpiece would she have to
she seems easy to
create?
direct too. Like there's something about the way she moves and emotes that just brings out these dramatic cuts and angles and everything. I love that shot with the paint dripping down the background. Again, they just
yeah, it's so funny. Like something so fun, like which also is menacing.
yeah. And again, the fact that like again getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but it's a great cute episode. Like Mainframe being menaced by Hexadecimal's art simply because she's a frustrated artist. But again, where this episode will take the show to pretty dark places ultimately.
Yeah.
So really interesting kind of juxtaposition. And also, of course, Hexadecimal is a frustrated artist. Like, it's just,
Such language.
him screaming along.
What are you
This whole
smiling
episode is just
about?
going to be me pointing out, like, things they did well.
That's right.
That's
well,
it.
but that's good,
Yeah.
because I enjoy it. I enjoy like thinking about things from a technical
Someone
perspective.
Yeah.
Appreciate my talents.
I love it. Oh yeah, and this where you're like, what's going on? I don't understand. And then you get the
Yeah.
reveal afterwards of what she's done. I just love that. Just get that like rage reaction.
You've destroyed my toy. I will get you for this.
Oh, but your sector was looking so dreary. I've simply cheered it up a little bit. There's no need to make such a long face about it.
And only Hexadecimal ever being able to get away with doing that to Megabyte.
That's right.
But like it's kind of there's something kind of gruesome to it too. Like
Yes,
it's
true.
morbid.
It reminds me of that Twilight Zone episode that's where it gets there's like the kid who's got the magic powers and Did you ever see that one? It was super
It sounds
creepy.
familiar, yeah.
But it's similar, and it's the same vibe. Like guy gets it's funny, but also she's
Like-
super powerful. It's scary.
Yeah, and basically the mentality of like an entitled child.
Yes,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
System backup occurs.
Can't you break the link in the archives to stop her?
Yes, but first you have to perform an undo command to return things to normal.
Great. That means I've got to go to the lair.
Precisely,
And this
Bob.
creates like a really
Once you
good
have undone
like
the paint,
pacing,
I
tension
will break
driving
the
thing
link.
here. Like it's not
Be
just
careful. And
that they can just
remember,
go in and disconnect it. Like they have to.
Fong?
Oh no, poor Fong.
Fong! Remember what?
My dear Fong, now you really are the keeper of the core.
She's hilarious.
Right. She thinks so.
Why is no one laughing?
Fong's out of the picture. Sort of. Who's gonna break the link now?
We've got to reach your sister, Enzo. She's our only hope.
Yeah, there's a really. I also think they do such a good job in this episode. Like again, where the plotting overall is so great.
Doc, can you hear me?
They do an amazing job of like splitting up the two halves of the team that need to be working in sync.
Well, Enzo.
Yep.
And
looks like we've got a
like putting the communication barrier between
Oh,
them.
my cell phone battery's dead.
Yeah.
Glitch battery. Really should have charged that up before I left.
Right.
Brand new bike.
Yeah,
Sure
mode of
have bad luck with
transportation.
transport.
Yeah. Oh, it seems to me even the undo command does not bring his bike back.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
don't think
true.
we ever see that again.
Guess I'm on my own for this one.
She eliminated Fong and Megabyte first, then she took out communications and transport. It's almost like she's working to some sort of plan.
Hexadecimal? A plan? Dude.
Enzo, this is important. It's all up to you. You've got to get to
Oh
Doc.
no.
Yeah, wait,
Break
what
the
did
link
you
to
say,
Hex's
Bob?
lair.
No problem, Bob. Fresco'll help me. Come on, boy.
Wait, Enzo. Don't do anything until you get my signal.
What's your signal?
I don't know yet, but you'll recognize it when you see it.
What
Okay,
a
Bob.
great
Count on
set
me.
of instructions
And Bob,
to give
But
to a
be careful.
10-year-old.
It's
Don't
so
worry,
Bob though
Enzo,
at the
I'm
same
sure
time.
I know. He's like,
Like,
you
it's-
got this, kid.
I love worried Bob or insecure Bob or freaking out Bob. It's
I know.
it adds
yeah.
so much more to him. I know we've discussed that so many times, but again, this is an episode where I see everything that I like in every character, from Dot's like, guess I'm figuring it out a few scenes ago,
Yeah,
to
and she
Bob's
just
like,
goes off and running.
Yeah.
Denounce the abstract figurative tension.
Yeah, Bob not just being
now
the
this
know-it-all
next
hero, but
Yeah,
being
great. I'm gonna have to
Work,
work
not so
through
much
this,
for
but like, you know, the
but how
guess
it
I'm gonna trust myself. Oh dear.
yeah.
the pain of the artist
Which again is so in
is
character for Bob to be like, I'm gonna have to figure it out as I go, but he does it to like great
rough
effect in this
textures.
episode.
Yes.
This is an excellent example of her brushwork, and
I know we've
and
already
here
addressed it,
we have
but again,
evidence of her
this smacks of those
draftsmanship
interstitials.
skills.
YTV
Yeah, it still does.
interstitials.
Yeah, which I guess must also draw from a
man
lot of like general
is a
art
guardian.
history. That's a good line.
Hey! Do you mind? We are trying to make a documentary. Hexadecimal, the madness and the glory. Oh, I love it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my.
Also very in character
All
for
right,
Mike.
folks,
Like
it's a
That's
wrap.
yes.
he would see this and be
Come on.
kind of an opportunist
I've
and
got a
just
plan.
dragging him by the antenna. It's just great execution across the board.
Yeah, well, it was the sky's the limit
Yeah.
on what you do with it,
Yeah.
and they must have had so much fun. Just,
Oh, obviously, yeah. And like little things like that, like
and I mean, like, the best part is that she's created one of the most benign, like, programs, the paint program, or it's
Yeah.
just she's turned it into this terrible thing.
yeah.
But it was like it's a
It's so
stupid paint
creative.
program. Yeah.
Like when else do you see? I mean, maybe there are episodes that have used formulae like this, but I can't think of any other show that's done something like this to this effect. Like
Not-
it's
no, not-
original on top of everything else. And I love this. Like it doesn't matter where Dot came from or how she got here.
Yeah.
It's just
And there she goes.
Brisket?
everything is so.
I love this.
What
Tiny
happened?
Frisket. How did that happen? Nobody
Yeah, no,
knows.
It doesn't matter.
Brisket.
Nothing has to make sense because mainframe is run
Well,
by
sis,
Hex right now, and
here
nothing
we go.
will make sense. Like just the chaos in this episode.
And they really, same as the Medusa bug, they jump right in.
Yeah,
It starts
that's really
so
true. I
fast.
hadn't thought of that, but we're just straight into what's going on in mainframe.
No! She's completely destroyed the security system. Not even
With
Megabyte could have
paint.
done this.
Also, kind of a hint that Hex is the more powerful of the two of them.
Yes, it's just
Yeah.
that she doesn't have.
The same drive to
Enzo,
Yeah,
are you
consume
okay?
everything.
What happened to Frisket?
It's a long story.
You slid by him, you shrank him, I'm not sure.
Important message from Bob.
Weird perspective stuff.
This is bad. Really bad.
So bad, I'm gonna never bend my elbows. It is funny, like they've upped their game every episode with their animation, but every once in a while someone goes
Yeah,
marching along. Like,
Yeah. Still looking like a weird mannequin.
Or maybe Enzo was doing that on purpose. I mean,
Oh,
maybe that was a
maybe.
character decision.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to channel his inner soldier.
Oh, and this is so creepy.
Yes. We love you. Are you our father?
The artist appears to be fixated with his guardian image.
What do you mean by that?
I was always a little bit
It's a
uncomfortable
blue
with.
period.
You get it?
Get it?
I was a little bit uncomfortable with Hex's obsession with Bob, but I feel like originally you were supposed to be.
I wish you'd stop
Yes, that
doing
makes
And I
sense.
like that the show acknowledged that it was supposed to be uncomfortable.
This is
And that's another thing it
obviously
seemed like they
an
kind of lost
example
later
of the
on.
Guardian's
Yes, I think
multiple
so.
personalities.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Cool.
And like this is such a good seeding too,
Yes.
because you know, as you should know, because this is for people who watched the show before. This is going to be an important component
Yes.
of the resolution.
Using her own magic against her.
Yes.
Come
Magic?
on, Mike.
That's not what this show is about.
Ready.
No, but with Hex, I mean, she's a computer witch.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go. She is a computer.
Basically.
Oh, scary mask.
Yeah, and like the gate is Hex's mask. Why? Does
Right,
it matter?
Enzo.
No.
We've got
like,
to find the system
Kind of
paint
makes me think
program
about
quickly and
paint,
break that link.
like the original paint
Oh,
program,
yeah.
and like the people who would
Not
spend
supposed to
hours
break
and
the
hours
link
and hours,
until we
like
get
zooming
Bob's
in and
signal.
zooming in, and like
What's a
pixel by
signal?
pixel, like
He
creating
doesn't
these
know
works of
Yeah.
art
Recognize
out of it.
when we see it.
Oh, great.
Come on, John. This way.
Enzo, wait! It's dangerous!
and like depicting the
Wait,
archives,
sis.
because like
These
we've
are
seen
my
the
steps.
archives before, but seeing this like chaotified version
That's right.
of it. Oh, I love this.
I
This
can't
is amazing.
Yeah, this was one of the images I never forgot.
Yeah.
Enzo!
Like this is such a good like spin on the a character is trapped.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's
like,
right.
And he's still present and he's still able to assist, but it's just creating this barrier that they then like have to work with.
Guarding Hexadecimal's
Oh
lair?
yeah. Speaking of perspective games.
Master, you know what this means, don't you?
Yeah. Hex can enlarge as well.
Although I guess that was something that they never really like. It's funny that they seeded that like Hex can enlarge as well line, but then they don't do that, do they? I don't think they do.
Oh,
What do you mean?
what's this?
Enlarged?
Well, because Scuzzy enlarged.
This is
Right.
ridiculous.
And Mike said, "You know what this means," and Bob says, "Yeah, Hex can enlarge as well." Oh,
Right.
maybe it was meant like she can enlarge other things.
Yes.
Okay, I
it was
interpreted that to
dangerous.
mean like she could enlarge herself.
Bet stuff like this.
Like, and this is
Oh, okay. I gotcha. See, this is why we have these conversations.
yeah, because there are ambiguities here.
I wonder if she drew on those teeth, or have we ever seen Scuzzy teeth?
I don't know that we have actually. Yeah, I don't think we normally see Scuzzy open his mouth.
Fully functional, sir!
How are we gonna find it in all this chaos?
Hang on a sec. I think I
And I love this as a solution. Like you take something that was
control the
a
window.
problem
Right.
and you turn it into the way we're gonna save the day. Like it's just so novel. I don't know. And I guess what I like about this episode is that nothing feels unused or frivolous.
That's true. Like
know.
every minute
is like pushes the plot forward in some meaningful way.
Now, Scuzzy. You know the Guardian is mine.
But you know, like, she had let Scuzzy chase him down.
Yeah.
Just so she could watch it.
Yeah,
Have
pretty
you come
much.
to try and spoil my fun.
No,
She
actually,
likes
we're
to
here
play
to
with her
interview
prey a
you.
little first.
We are? Yes, we are.
We're here on behalf of Mainframe's local arts program. They're very excited to have such a famous artist living right here in
And that's
Mainframe.
clever too,
They
right?
want us to
Because
do
he
a
knows to
profile
play
on
into
you.
her ego.
Right. Because, of course, it works.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I just now remembered exactly how this episode
Right?
ends.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm a little sad.
Yeah, it is like it's
little
an episode.
heart-wrenching.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
You look back on it very differently.
Oh, I can't.
Once you understand where
I always
everything
kick
goes.
myself when I remember.
Yeah, that this is where everything
Can
kicks
you
off.
see anything
Yeah.
up there? Nope, it's not up here. There it is. I hope Bob.
I'm just gonna be in a mini bin window. Like, oh my gosh.
Bob wouldn't have gone to meet Hexadecimal without a really good plan.
Oh, Dot, you know better than that.
Yeah, wait. You've met Bob,
Yeah.
right?
Neither of us are expected to survive?
That's right.
Well, that's not much of a plan, is it, Pilgrim?
Just do it, Mike. You're on.
Tonight on the program, we have the reclusive artist.
And I love that
Hexadecimal,
Mike is such a
a painter
coward,
known for
but
his
this is the
startling
one thing
originality
he
as much
totally
as for the
can
huge
play
impact of
into
her
confidently.
work. Hexadecimal has never
Oh my
been
gosh, I
interviewed
just
before.
realized that that's
We bring you this system-wide
I think that's a take on
exclusive
Fire and
straight
Ice,
from
which
the
at the
artist's
time was
studio.
controversial for being
There.
the National Art Gallery of Canada
artist
paid
there.
a lot of money for
I
Fire and
remember that,
Ice.
yeah.
Yeah, which was
That's good,
basically
Mike.
just 3
Keep
stripes of
going.
color. I think that was a Fire and Ice reference, which is kind of funny because
Now,
this would,
Hexadecimal.
I think, maybe be around the
Many
time that
people
was
have
going
asked,
on, if I'm
what
not
is
mistaken.
your
I could be wrong.
inspiration?
I don't remember
My
exactly the timeline, but
inspiration,
yeah, could be.
Well, of course, the inspiration for all of my works
It's
is
it's funny, like looking at all the art and being like, okay, I know that artist, but I don't know that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Pieces. I'm ready for my close-up now, Mr. Guardian.
Again,
Mike's dead.
using basically.
Really? I mean, he's got
Yeah,
to
he's
know
gonna
that
go
now,
first,
right?
Yeah.
Next week on the program, Al from Al's Diner. Slow food, art form, or
I do like that he did have to take a
Still
moment
finishes. Yeah, yeah.
where he is also a true artist.
But like, the thing is too, like this episode, I like there's so much real pity for Hex. Even here, like they did have to kind of take advantage of her in order to do this.
Yeah, I know. And,
You know?
like, how could they have created a character who would like basically destroy everything, and yet you still feel bad for them?
Yeah.
Suppose this is Bob's
And again, I love that feeling such a good use of characters and of like the great relationship between Dot and Bob, that they know each other so well, they would trust each other to both have like, yeah, Dot knows that.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah,
she
this
just
is a Bob
knows.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob would have caused this.
Smells like Bob.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And like, yeah, that's a total frantic thing that you would do, but then like this is so freaky the first time you see this and you realize, because you always think like what's under the mask, and then you're like, oh no,
Yeah, it's
there's
like
not anything.
there's nothing at all.
And this undoing, which adds another layer of tension and time sensitivity to
Right.
it, because
Guardian. You have removed the only thing that keeps her power in check. Without the masks, Hexadecimal will overload and be destroyed.
and like this makes sense.
Yes.
There's nothing
yes.
about that feels like they just tacked it on. It's like, yeah, I believe that would have been the case from the beginning, given just the kind of character Hexadecimal is, right? Even if they didn't plan it, it feels organic.
Yeah, it's true. Like a virus that's just someone has created for the fun of it,
Yeah.
and has this one little control.
I think I did always wonder where Frisket jumped from to get that leverage.
Listen.
The one
we
thing.
have to allow that one thing.
Yeah. I think I can allow that. I think I can.
I've got to reverse this program.
But like we have this like awesome time-sensitive ticking time bomb climax for both Bob and Dot that's interconnected. We've got like hex lore, like everything about this climax is so well executed, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the episode where my mom said we were not to watch her and my little sister anymore.
Yeah, I can see that. This does feel like when things start to get really heavy.
Yeah. But cool.
Yeah.
Glitch, close fire.
And like that moment.
Yeah, like
know.
you just like there's this whole entity that's inside of her.
Yeah.
That is her, isn't her. It's that right there.
Oh, you feel so sorry for her then. Like even being afraid of Scuzzy. Like it's like they saved the day, but they traumatized the villain. Like how often do you see that?
That's right.
And this like spotlight effect, and really highlighting that.
Dot, are you guys okay?
We're fine, Bob. What about you?
Everything's back to normal here. Well, as normal as Lost Angles ever gets.
Bob, what happened to Hexadecimal?
She's in a pretty bad way, Enzo. It'll be a while before she even thinks about painting again. But she's getting help. The best help I could get for her.
Oh dear, that was not very good help.
I know.
And you can receive this wonderful product for only 99.
Also, way to terrify Mike. What do you think Mike's reaction was when Bob ordered him to stay at Hexadecimal's lair?
Yeah, and in what kind of power does he have over Mike?
Really.
That he can make him do this?
Right? Speaking of sprite privilege again. And like just that little bit of creepy shot
Yeah.
insinuating that this is gonna go to some darker places before it gets better, right?
Yeah, and she's at the heart of it all.
Yeah.
There she is. She's great.
Yeah, really. And also at the heart of it all is Bob's poor decision making. But like I like when the bad things that happen to characters are kind of a direct consequence of their own poor judgment.
Yes.
And that's not like such a direct, like they never go back to that and be like, Bob, you made a bad choice leaving Mike there, but like he did. Like you know it, I know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, just it's just crazy how much this episode like will set up for other things and pretty much sets us up for like the dark phase.
I know, the dark times.
Like, it starts out so cheerful and bright, but it's gonna go to such a bad place from here.
Yeah, it is funny. Like there's so many episodes, well, up until now, that have felt really like they're just light and silly, and then they're resolved and everyone laughs, and it's like a cartoon, like a classic cartoon. And then this one, everything feels open and uneasy at the end.
Yeah, uneasy is a good word for that ending. Yeah. Even though like Bob and Dot and Enzo are still kind of playing it up and being their usual upbeat selves, but then we see this and we're like, oh no.
Yeah, something's not right.
Yeah. So anyway, for all the many reasons I pointed out and talked about here, this, like watching it again now, I'm like, I would definitely say in my top 5, top 3 episodes, just as far as like objectively well-made episodes of ReBoot.
Yeah, it feels so quick too.
Yeah,
like it's all the ways those episodes where it's like it doesn't feel like any time has passed at all, or maybe just a few times have passed. But it does feel so quick because it's just from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah,
and then it's over.
And it's all so well paced and well structured, and the tension is maintained throughout, but there's fun and whimsy in it too, and then this weird kind of uneasy ending. I don't know. It hits every beat. Yeah. In my opinion, it just does almost everything right that you could expect a show of this caliber to do.
Yeah. And the kids, I think at that time too, would have been really excited to have something a little more creepy given to them. Because I think at that time, it was really before. Now they do let kids
it gets pretty serious and heavy. Yeah.
There are shows that, that are more dark and you can do that, and kids are okay with that. But back then it was a lot of frou-frou, happy
Yeah,
stuff
it was
for
kind of
kids.
assumed you weren't supposed to like feed kids the darker stuff, which is again, impressive that this was still getting through at ABC. And maybe at this point, ABC had already decided not to renew for more episodes. So they were just like, whatever,
do what you
throwing
want.
their papers in the air, like people at,
you
what
guys
is
are
now Mainframe
weird.
or what's now Rainmaker, I guess. Just being
yes,
like,
yeah.
we're just going to do whatever we want if we know we're not getting more episodes anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they still would have had to get everything approved by ABC, but it seemed like they were really kind of starting to push their boundaries on this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. So do you feel like this is like one of the better episodes of the show going back to it, or is it still like for you?
No,
just, like,
I
good?
agree. I do. I really agree. It's funny how I'm embarrassed when I don't remember how the ending goes until like midway through it. But then as soon as I remembered the ending, it like hit my stomach like a hammer. Like it was just like, oh my gosh, this is the one.
Yeah.
And it sticks with you like that. The whole thing, like, yeah, and I love anything hexadecimal because she is just
fantastic,
really cool.
character.
And then, yeah, for them to just tear her up like that, they're so mean.
Yeah, really feels that way. But anyway, on that note, I guess we should wrap things up. So once again, I'm Robin.
And I'm Katie.
This is the Reboot Review. And until next time, stay frosty.
I ate exercise.
You had to.
Remember?
Yeah.
Guys, you remember from the beginning of the episode?
Oh. All right.
That's a good one. Don't keep that.